Praise the Lord. God bless you for watching. Feel free to share and invite somebody to watch, and they'll be blessed. Oh yes, Lord. Praise the Lord. God bless all of you. God bless you for watching. Hallelujah. Just worship the Lord wherever you are. Give him all the praise. Thank him for your life. Tell him you love him. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. God bless all of you. How's everybody doing today? It's almost 5 a.m. here in Houston. I didn't even know you guys would be up. Some of you are supposed to be sleeping. The ones that are in America, it's too early to be awake. You know, with me, I don't have any time. I just come on whenever I want to. I was just studying the Bible and boom, God started speaking to me, and I'm like, let me just come out here and share it with you guys. I was reading a bunch of scriptures, and then suddenly I was led to read Matthew chapter 9. And while I was reading it, I just got a revelation of how people always mock like people of God or the things of God. But at the end of the day, they are the ones also helping to like spread the good news or like spread the testimony, or like at first they will mock, and then later they will be the same ones to go around and spread the good news or tell people about it. So when we know things like this, we just don't pay attention to people that mock the things of God or mock us. We just go ahead and do what we have to do, because at the end of the day, the same ones that we're mocking are the same ones that will help us spread the news of the testimony or the miracle that happened. You know what I mean? So I was reading Matthew chapter 9. I'm reading it in King James. I pray that God will help you understand it. And I got to verse 18, It says, while he spake these things unto them, behold, there came a certain ruler and worshipped him, saying, my daughter is even now dead, but come and lay thy hand upon her, and she shall live. I'm going to read it in NLT so you can understand. It says, as Jesus was saying this, the leader of a synagogue came and knelt before him. My daughter has just died, he said, but you can bring her back to life again if you just come and lay your hand on her. I love people with faith like this. The man believes that once Jesus lays hand on this girl, she will wake up. Like, he just believes it. And normally when we have people like that that have that kind of faith, it's easy for us. Just like when people will message me, woman of God, I just want you to just speak a word over my life and I know it's done. Or just speak a word over this, my immigration issue, and I know it's done. Or over my health. It's so easy. I just say, be healed. And they're like, amen, I receive it. And lo and behold, they are healed. Because even before I spoke the word, they believed. And it's easier. This man came to Jesus believing that once Jesus lays hands on this dead girl, this dead situation, that situation will be better, will wake up again. That person will be alive. See, this person is already dead. Normally, people will be planning to go, People will be planning to go bury her or maybe buy like a coffin, right? To take her to the mortuary or morgue. What did they call it here? But this man said no. There's somebody I know that can bring her back to life. He has so much faith. That situation in your life that seems dead or looks dead, if you have faith that God can restore it or restore you, he will do it. But if you believe that it's done with, it's over, so shall it be. Do you understand? I don't know who I'm speaking to right now, but maybe the doctor gave you a report and you felt like it's final. It's not final unless God says it's final. Maybe they rejected you at a place and you believe that that's it. They can't accept you anymore. Unless you accept it. If you refuse to accept it and you say God can bring them to accepting you, it will be done. Do you understand what I mean? This man would have said, well, I've lost a child. Let me let it go. God will give me another child. No. He said, no, I believe that this daughter of mine will come back to life. So I'm going to go meet the one that I know that can do this for me. And he went there believing. You understand? Let me read that scripture again. It says, as Jesus was saying this, the leader of a synagogue came and knelt before him. My daughter has just died. He said, but you can bring her back to life again. He said, but I know that you can bring her back to life again. I know that with you, all things are possible. I know that unless you tell me that it's not possible, then it's not. But I know that I believe that you can do something about this. I love you, Jesus. If believers can have this kind of faith, I'm telling you, a lot of people will not suffer the way they are suffering. If believers can have this kind of faith, some of the things they are going through, they will not go through it. You understand? Is this? But you can bring her back to life again if you just come and lay your hand on her. I'm sure God led him to Jesus. God probably led him to Jesus and said, you know how sometimes some of you, maybe God is leading you to someone to pray for you, but you refuse to go there. Maybe God is trying to do something in this situation. If you obey that leading and you go, most likely you will have a testimony. Sometimes maybe you just failed an interview or something, but while you were home, you were troubled. And something is telling you, why don't you ask the woman of God to pray for you? You would think you are the one thinking it. You would think that, oh, maybe I'm the one thinking it. But the way God talks to us sometimes, it seems as if it's our thought. But no, he dropped it in you at that time. So this man would have just, maybe everybody was crying in the house, and suddenly he probably just got up from where he was sitting and say, I'll go and meet Jesus. I believe he can pray for her to get up. Do you understand? Just suddenly, maybe they were all crying. Maybe he too was crying at first. And suddenly, like there was a leading to go meet Jesus. It has to be God that led him to Jesus. Do you understand? You guys have been in this situation before. God always does the leading. Even Jesus Christ said it. It says, no man can come to me unless my Father leads him to me. Do you guys remember that scripture? Like, no one can come to him unless his Father leads that person to him. So if his Father leads that person to him, that means his Father has already taken care of that situation. It's just a matter of him, Jesus, speaking the word. Do you understand? So you that is begging for deliverance, crying up for deliverance, suddenly you were led to this video. That means your deliverance is for sure. It's only a matter of time. Because suddenly you were just probably in your own house thinking, Lord, how can I be free from this? I need to be free. I don't know what to do. And suddenly somebody invites you to my video. Or suddenly you are looking through Facebook and you see this video. All this while you probably didn't see this video. God led you to this video because it is through this video that you will get your deliverance. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of probably me speaking the word or locating. Sometimes I don't even need to locate you. I don't need to locate you. God himself that led you here will locate you. Have you not seen some people? The first day they came on the video, boom, I'm blessing water. Suddenly, for someone that has never seen this woman before, they just see her for the first time, but they quickly grab water. Like, if I go to a video the first time, I don't know if I'll be quick to grab water because I don't even know this person. But they grab water and boom, a miracle happens. It's because they obeyed that leading to watch that video. And that's why that miracle happened. So this man was probably crying with the rest of the family. And suddenly, he was led to Jesus. It's like something is telling him, because before you do something, there's always something speaking to you, but you think it's your thought. Like, for instance, before you pay your tithe, I'm giving you an example. There's something telling you, make sure you pay your tithe. Or I'll make sure I pay my tithe. You're not speaking it loud, but you're hearing it inside. So you are thinking that maybe you're talking to yourself. Or make sure you go to church. Or make sure you don't go to work late. There's something that's talking to you. You would think it's your mind talking. But this man from nowhere got up, went to Jesus, and said, my daughter is dead. But I believe that if you come and lay hands on her, she'll wake up. A lot of you have been led to do some things. And whenever you follow that leading, you always had a testimony. And a lot of you have been led to do some things and you did not obey the leading. And nothing happened. A lot of you have been led. And whenever you obeyed the leading, you came back with a testimony. Even now, some of you were led to enter the video. Once I came online, something told you, watch her. Something was going to discourage you. It's late, go to sleep. But another one said, watch her. And the moment you came on, what I'm saying, it's like I'm speaking to you. You understand? That's how you know that there was an answer you needed. And God led you to the answer. Do you see? So you watching this is not because you wanted to. It's because there was a divine leading. And me getting up at this time, I'm supposed to be sleeping. But I was just in my bed meditating, talking to God. This time around, I wasn't just meditating. I was actually talking. But I was alone, just talking. I was laughing. I would talk. I would laugh. Because I was just thinking. And then I'm seeing some of my followers that are posting on Facebook of how this is 1 year of them watching me and how their life has changed. And I was just telling God, like as I was talking loud, if you were passing by my room, you would think I'm talking to somebody. And I will giggle, I will laugh like somebody is making me laugh. And God was responding to me by making me feel, see, there's a way that God talks to us. You may not hear his voice, but with the actions, the way your body feels, the way you feel, you will know that he's responded. Just like if you're troubled. If you're troubled now, you're troubled. And you start talking. Maybe you're not even thinking it, you're talking. Say, Father, please help me. I'm so troubled. I need peace. I don't like the way I'm feeling right now. Please help me. And suddenly you that was troubled, you become calm. You start to smile. God didn't speak anything to you. He doesn't speak too much. He's a God of action. Suddenly, you notice that you have peace. You're smiling. You were just troubled 5 minutes ago. No, 3 minutes ago or 2 minutes ago. And you that was troubled, suddenly you are smiling. You're just feeling at peace. Now, a voice did not tell you receive peace. But the way you feel already makes you know that it's been answered. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, most times this is how God communicates with us. Like you go and you pray. You went into the closet troubled, worried about something, but you come out peaceful, smiling. Now with a clear mind, knowing what exactly to do. You didn't hear a voice tell you, I have answered. No, but with the way you feel, you know that God has spoken to you, that God has answered. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? Like just now, some of you now watching this video, you were not feeling at peace before you came on, but now you just have this peace as you're listening to me. That means God has spoken to you. God has answered you. Do you understand? Like his spirit. So sometimes the way you want him to speak or lead is not the way that he does it. Even as I'm talking now, there's chills all over my body. And he's telling me that some of you, as you're listening now, there's this chills all over your body. There's chills, like some people are even vibrating right now. That's God speaking too. Saying, yes, what she's saying is true. She's talking to you. This is for you. I sent her online because of you. Do you understand what I mean? That's him talking. That you couldn't sleep. That's why I sent her online. So she could talk to you. It's me talking to you through her. It's just telling you all this stuff. So this man may have just been sitting there crying and saying, Lord, why? Why my daughter? Why? You know how much I love this one. Why does she have to die? Lord, do something. I know that she can come back to life. I know you can bring her to life. And suddenly, as he's saying this thing, suddenly, it's like something tells him, why don't you go and meet Jesus? Why don't you go and meet Jesus? He can do it. And he gets up. A man that was crying gets up, takes a shower, dressing up, and they're like, where are you going? I'm coming. I'm going to bring Jesus. He can bring her back to life. And they don't know how he suddenly changed to go call Jesus. But it was God that spoke to him. Why don't you go and meet my servant Jesus? He can do this. You understand? And he's thinking that he's the one thinking it. But he's not the one thinking it. It's God that is leading him to Jesus. And that's why Jesus would not hesitate to follow him. Because the same God that led him would also lead Jesus to responding. If it's one spirit. Do you understand what I mean? If it's one spirit, that same spirit that communicated to this man to go meet Jesus will also communicate to Jesus to be led to follow the man. Do you get what I'm saying? Thank you, Jesus. I want to read this scripture because it keeps coming to me. John 6:44. No man can come to me except the Father which had sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. Let me read it in another version. For no one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws them to me. So that man couldn't have come to Jesus to raise his daughter up except God draw that guy to Jesus. So that's what I was saying earlier. So this confirms it. So the man did not come on his own, even though he thought he came on his own. So you that is watching this video, you are not watching this video because you wanted to. It's because God is drawing you to me. God is drawing you to my videos. Because through this video, God wants to heal your heart. God wants to restore you. God wants to bless you. You are not here by accident. That's why it's kind of hard for some people to even draw you away from here. It will take a strong pull to pull you out of here. A lot of you people have tried to remove you here, but it's not that easy because it was God himself that brought you here. Even though you thought, no, I just told them I will keep watching. No, it's not you. It's God that brought you here. It's God that said, watch. Some of you tried to close the video. You left. But something is like, why did you close it? Go back. Watch. It's God. He said, no man can come to me except my Father that sent me draws the man to me. Just like me, that is a preacher. No one can be my follower except God gives them to me. And when God gives them to me, God will put the love of me in their heart. He will make them love me. You understand? Because He wants them to be my followers. And when He's done with me and them, He will put the love of somebody else in their heart. Nobody can love two men of God the same way. Listen to what I'm saying. Nobody can love two men of God the same way. It's just like you can't love God and love Satan. You will love one more than the other. Even when you were fornicating and you had two boyfriends, you always had one that you loved more. You didn't love them equally, or maybe you didn't love either of them. But when you love one, you always love one more than the other. So let's say you are even following two men of God. There is one that you are more drawn to. I'm just giving you an example. The one that you are more drawn to is the one that God is leading you to stick with. You may even have a church that you're going to, and you are in that church, but you're probably more drawn to me. So a point that even when you are in church listening to your pastor and my video pops up, you forget that you are in church and you turn on my video because you are more drawn to me. No matter how you try to fake it or pretend it, your heart is here. Why do you think it's like that? It's because this is how God did it. I'm sure some of people in those days, if somebody else is preaching somewhere and they hear Jesus is there somewhere, some of his followers, no matter where they are, they will run to where he is. Just the same way as if I was preaching and there's somebody else you are more drawn to, the moment that person, you get notification that that person is live, you will jump out of here and go there. Do you get what I'm saying? You will be there instead. That's what Jesus is saying. Nobody can come to me unless the Father draws him to me. It's not me that did it. It's the Father in heaven that did it like this. Because this is where the Father has kept this person. This is where the Father wants this person to be. And when the Father is done with this one, the Father will remove that love and put the love of somebody else there. And suddenly the person will see that they are more drawn to someone else. That means the mission here is complete. Now on to the next. Do you understand what I mean? I had somebody was telling me that their pastor complained that whenever this lady was in church and I'm live, I earpiece, she'll be watching my video. And I was like, oh my God, that's not good. She shouldn't do that. She should stop that. It's rude. But I'm sure the girl can't help it. It's just like you're with someone, but your mind, you're thinking of somebody else. Do you know what I mean? That's how sometimes you even know who your soulmate is. You understand? Like, before you got married to your husband, you try to move on to somebody else. But whenever you're with that somebody else, your mind is still where your husband is. The man you ended up marrying. Like you're thinking of him all the time. No matter how you try to date other people to forget him, you can't forget him. That's your soulmate. Doesn't that happen to some of you? Like, there's some people that you've broken up with, but if you even see them pass, your heart beats. If you even hear a news about them that maybe they are sick, hey, it's like your heart is beating so fast. You're like, oh my God, you're no longer with this person, but you still care. So at the point, even the person you're with is like, I think you still love this one. What? That's your soulmate. And until you marry that one, you may never be happy. You may deceive yourself and say, oh, I've moved on. It's a lie. Secretly, you still think of that one. Who do you think put that love in your heart? It's God. It's God. Your heart beats for this one. There's some people that are married now, but their heart still beats for somebody else. And that one too is married, and his heart beats for this one too. But they are both pretending, acting like they're happy. I'm telling you, most of the time, they may end up coming back together for them to have true happiness. Otherwise, they will both live a miserable life, pretending to be happy. And another thing that messes things up, I don't know why I'm talking about relationship now, is pride. Pride that, no, I'm not going to go, I'm moving on, I'm happy. Pride and will I call it fakeness? If you're really truthful to yourself, you will make up whatever differences it is and tell the truth. My heart beats for you. I can't go with anyone else. Let's just settle our differences. If we need deliverance, let's get it. But it is you that I always think of. It is you that I believe that you're my soulmate. You're the one that God has set for me. Before I go make a mistake and marry somebody that I won't be happy with, it is you that I always see, even in my dreams. It is you that I care about. If the man is truthful too, he will tell the truth. Because if God puts the love of him in your heart, most likely he put it in his heart too. And before you know it, these two will be together forever. I didn't even know I'll be talking about this part, but God is speaking to somebody. Me, I'm just the mouthpiece of God. I just open my mouth and he just speaks to his children. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people cheat. Because they're married, but they're not happy. Sometimes they go back to that one that they were supposed to marry and they're cheating with that one. Now they become adulterers. Now they are living in sin when they could have avoided this part and been together instead. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with church. You are doing adultery with church. You're forcing yourself to go to a church that God is not leading you to go to. Just like some of my followers, they'll say, woman of God, I go to church, but God is telling me to pay my tithe to your ministry. Because this is the ministry you belong to. Why would God tell you pay tithe here? That's because he's telling you this is your ministry. Otherwise, why would he tell you to leave your church and pay tithe here? Do you see what? I'm just giving you an example. I'm using so many things as an example. Because this is where he put you. I asked yesterday how many people went to church for a reason. Because some people don't know where they belong. Sometimes God has told them, but they still don't know where they belong. And because of that, they miss their blessings. They do things in the wrong places. You could be tithing every month, every week, but if you're tithing in the wrong place, God doesn't see it as tithe. Because he himself will lead you to where to tithe. I'm giving that as an example. Like me, I've only been led to my bishop. He's the one that God sends to me. He's still the one I see in my dreams when I see angels or whatever. God has not confused me with so many different people yet. No. Once in a while, I may have a message from one or two. But this is the same one. That's the one that prays for me. Do you see what I'm saying? I was released from his church to do my own ministry, which is online. But he still prays for me. Like this Sunday, I'm going to go to his church because he's doing a 3 days revival and it's his birthday. So I'm going to go support. If I'm doing a program, Like when I did my 12 hours, he supported. Like there's a connection between me and him. And I kept the connection. Because this is how God did it. Even if I wanted to break the connection, I can't. Because this is how God did it. Now, have people tried to break the connection? Yeah. Some were even pastors coming, talking rubbish, making up nonsense to break the connection. And then you wonder which spirit is controlling these pastors. Is it the spirit of God? But then again, a lot of pastors, sometimes the devil talks through them or whatever. But I know that this is where I'm connected. This is the man of God that I see all the time. So for now, this is the one. When I pay my tithe, I pay it to him. This is where, even though I'm not going to his church anymore, he's the one that I am connected to. So I stick with him. Now, one day God may tell me it's time to move on. Next one. But God is so orderly. He puts the love of someone in your heart for a reason, so as for you not to be confused. When that man's daughter died, he did not mention, God did not put 7 different pastors in his mind to go meet them. He only put Jesus. He did not put John the Baptist in his mind. He didn't put another one. He's put Jesus. But some of you, when you have a problem, you message like 10 pastors. God doesn't work like that. If you're really paying attention to the Spirit of God, he will tell you specifically who to go to. I'm teaching you something here. Like, the man could have said, let me try this man first. If it doesn't work, I try Jesus. No. God doesn't roll like that. God is specific. Now, unless if the man of God himself messed up, and then God will find another way, but he was specific, and the man came straight to Jesus. But these days with social media, some people will go to my cousin, my bishop, me, and then 5 other people. Please, please, or they will even write it all over everybody's video. My daughter is dead, oh, please help me. My daughter is dead. You are confused. There's one person that you're not paying attention to that God is sending you to for this particular prayer point. I'm trying to help you. Let me keep reading. And this guy was very specific. As Jesus was saying this, the leader of a synagogue came and knelt before him. My daughter has just died, he said, but you can bring her back to life again if you just come and lay your hand on her. And Jesus arose and followed him. And so did his disciples. Jesus did not argue because Jesus could see that it was God speaking through this man. It wasn't even the man speaking. Jesus was sensitive in the spirit to know that his Father sent this one to him. And as an obedient son, he got up and followed the man without resisting. He didn't resist. He didn't say, oh, I'm tired, I can't do it. Oh, maybe you should have brought her here. He just followed. Because he knew that God was the one drawing this man to him. Because God wanted to show people that this kind of miracle is possible. Yeah. When you are having a leading to do something, sometimes you may be like, nah, I don't like that lady. I don't know how she will see me when I do it. Don't do that. That voice is not you. That's the devil. Oh no, I don't like the way woman of God is. I don't want to go. Don't do that. That's the devil speaking. Don't you think a voice would have told that man, why do you want to go to Jesus? His disciples will not even let you see him. They are always surrounding him. Why do you want to go to Jesus? He always has a crowd. You think he will listen to you? There's always this other voice that wants to discourage you. This discouraging voice that you hear, it's not only you that it started with. Even Jesus, the voice, he heard that voice too. Those people that came to Jesus too, they heard that voice. That voice has always been there. Adam and Eve, they heard that voice. That's why they ate that apple. Do you understand what I mean? The voice is always there. Why do you want to go there? Why? I remember Caroline Gray, I saw a comment now. She messaged me because she was a lady that was watching my video. A few weeks later, I did deliverance on her. And we raised money for her. And she came to my program in Nigeria. She stayed with us for a week or so. And I was able to give her the rest of the money that you guys raised for her. So because I don't know her from anywhere, I just prayed for her online and gave her money, right? Because I was led. Few months later, the enemy attacked her again to a point that she really suffered. Now, this is a lady I've already done deliverance on. And the enemy was someone that is like her sister. And nobody wanted to help her. She couldn't even have money to eat. And God was leading her to message me. And a voice was telling her, not her again. She's already helped me enough. I can't message her. She would think I'm trying to use her. She would think I'm trying to take advantage of her. Right? She even said she messaged, was it Cornelia? And Cornelia encouraged her also to go ahead and message me if God is leading her to message me. Because I don't really know this lady. I just saw her watching my video. I don't know any of you. I just saw you online, right? But there was a leading to come to me and tell me what is happening to her, what she's going through and everything. When she came to me that day, she messaged me, woman of God, I didn't want to come to you, but God is leading me to you. That things are so bad for me and my landlord, I can't even pay my rent. And I said, but we just helped you a few months ago. That I'm a woman of God, I'm not a bank. She said, I understand, I'm sorry, but God is leading me. So you know what happened? I didn't answer again. I started to meditate. And God told me, he said, I sent her to you. I want you to pray for her first, then help her. I said, okay, Father. He said, send her some money to buy credit on her phone. So we sent her $300 and she bought one thing for internet. And then I called her on the video the following day. And boom, the moment I started praying for her, a demon manifested, confessing everything, saying, oh, I'm her sister. I did this to her. I did that to her. It is me that did it. I didn't want her to come to you for help. I wanted her to be on the street begging. Da, 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 da. We cast out the demon from her, right? Listen. And boom. Before I could even ask if people wanted to help her, everybody started to send money again. This is a lady that was helped a few months ago. But people were still willing to raise money because it is God that was drawing her to the ministry. So those that have the same spirit that draw her to the ministry, they had the same spirit lead them to help her. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. Because normally, if it wasn't God that led her, I would not do it. You two would not do it. You say, this one, we just helped her now. What? But are you guys getting where I'm coming from? God brought her. And because he brought her, you that also have the Spirit of God, you were moved to help her, even though you've already helped her 3-4 months ago. And we raised money for her again. I think over 4,000 or something for her again. And we felt good about it. Because it's one spirit. Do you understand? Now there are some people that have come to me for money and I heard clearly, no, they are lying. Or, you understand what I mean? Like, it's not everybody that comes that I help. Some of them are even agents. Some of them, they're lying about the situation. And God doesn't like it when we lie. You understand? Like, if God did not lead you to someone to ask for help, most likely the person will not help you. But if God led you to someone, sometimes before you even say it, the person is wanting to help you. Because the same God that led you would also be leading that one to help you. Do you get where I'm coming from? It's the same spirit. Even if that one says no, that one will be troubled. They won't be able to sleep that night until they help you. Like sometimes, let me tell you, if the person says no, maybe the devil spoke and said no. When the person, as long as the person is spirit-filled, that whole day, the person will be thinking of you. Because it's God that sent you to them. Until that person does it, they won't have peace. It's one spirit. If Jesus had said, no, I'm not following you to pray for her. If it's really God that led that man to Jesus, Jesus will not have peace that whole day. Until he finally tells the disciples, you know what, come, let's go to that man that came earlier. Let's go pray for his daughter. Yeah. This is how God is. That's right. The Spirit of God is one. That's why sometimes when you see like somebody fighting you that is so spirit-filled, fighting you, opposing everything you're doing, you just know that there's another spirit controlling them. And some of them claim that what they have is the Holy Spirit. You know that if it's the same spirit, they would know eventually. Maybe even if they don't know that first day, the spirit will speak to them later or a few hours later. But if it's not speaking to them and they're still doing, then you just know without any doubt that this is definitely another spirit. It's not the same spirit that we have. Same spirit attract. Yeah. Same spirit attract. Just like some people come on my video and they say, oh my God, the first day I watched you, my spirit connected with you. I just connected. Yeah, because we have the same spirit. Just like you now that have the Spirit of God. When you go to a video that has maybe a demonic spirit, you won't connect. Even if you force yourself to stay there, there will still be a struggle in your spirit. You will say, I'm really trying to accept this one, but you will say, I'm really trying to accept this one, but I don't know, but there's just something. Even if people are saying all the good things about that one, I'm really, really trying, but there's something. I just can't place my finger on it. There's just something. Do you understand what I mean? And one day you will find out what that thing is. You're like, I knew it. No wonder my spirit never accepted this one. That's if your spirit is the Spirit of God. You say, I knew it. One day maybe they come and tell you that, oh, do you know we found out this one is a false prophet? You say, yes, I knew it. I knew it. No wonder that I just couldn't. I tried, but my spirit could not. Because the spirit opposes it. It's not the same spirit. I'm telling you. You force yourself to lie. Even in the church, there are some churches you go to. It's like you're so different from all of them. You force yourself to blend in, but you still can't blend in. You don't belong there. That's what it means. You try. The message is you don't belong. It may not even be a bad spirit. It may still be, but maybe God is just saying, this is not the church I put you in. I have somewhere else for you. You always drag your feet to go to church. It's like, oh God. Anytime you think of the church, it's depressing. You feel depressed. Oh Lord. You are going there, management. You're just managing and going. But when you go where you belong, it doesn't matter how long it is. You want it to continue. Don't stop, please. That's how God speaks, that this is where you belong. You may not hear a voice tell you this is your home, or this is just the way you feel when you enter there. Oh yes. There, even if they say clean the floors, you will clean. You will clean. They say clean the toilet. Yes, I will. You are so willing to just do whatever in that place. I see this when I do programs. My followers, they are not quick to say, oh, we want to leave. Well, they stay. Even when it's over, they don't want to go. They still want to stay. You know they are in the right place. There are some that they are not comfortable. It's not because they are possessed. They are not possessed. They just don't belong in this ministry. It's not every time that somebody is not feeling belong that they are possessed. No. Sometimes God is drawing them to somewhere else. They don't belong here. So then they will keep looking at their time, or they'll be like, you guys, your 12 hours is too long. I can't stay here. They really don't belong. They are not always possessed. Sometimes it could be demons trying to take them away. But sometimes it could be that this is not where God is placing them. So when Jesus heard this man tell him, my daughter is dead, but I believe that when you come lay hands on her, she'll arise, she'll wake up. Jesus did not even say, oh really? Okay, coming later. They say Jesus arose and followed him, and so his disciples. I'm going to skip verse 20, 21, 22. And I'll read 23, because 20, 21, 22 is talking about the lady on his way to the man's house. The lady with the issue of blood touched him. I already preached that message, I think, a few days ago. So verse 23, and when Jesus came into the ruler's house, because he followed him to his house, right? When he came into the ruler's house and saw the minstrels and the people making noise, he saw them crying. It's a funeral. Somebody just died. When Jesus arrived at the official's home and saw the noisy crowd and heard the funeral music, like sadness, they've already concluded that it's over. They were crying already. But the man, something told him that my daughter is not quite dead. You understand? That this man can bring my daughter back to life. I'm sure the wife will be like, are you insane? Please don't make this too hard for me. Let me mourn my daughter. Stop making, like the wife of the man would have said, why are you doing this to me? And she's dead. Please stop traumatizing me. Are you going crazy? And then maybe when they see the man coming with Jesus, listen to what happened. He said unto them, give place, for the maid is not dead, but sleepeth. And they laughed him to scorn. Hey, ha ha ha. NLT says, get out. And he told them, like, leave here. Why are you guys crying or something? This girl isn't dead. She's only asleep. But the crowd laughed at him. This guy is crazy, yo. How is this? Somebody that is dead that we're even planning on how to bury her. Please, all these people, you and this your church things. You guys, you are going crazy. Like, that's how your enemies, they will laugh at you. That's how people mock at the things of God. they laugh at us. If you see the title of the video, I said, those who laugh at you now will celebrate you later. Right now, who's laughing? Them. They're laughing at Jesus. Probably laughing at the girl's father too. Oh, Lord, you guys are crazy. Like, seriously. It's just like when I told you guys about the dream that I had, that God was showing me how people were standing on the ground and the girl was warning them, come on, leave there, you will die, you will die, it will change to water. And they were laughing at the girl, are you crazy? Come on, get out of here. How will this thing change? And later it changed, right? So who was doing the laugh last? Who was laughing last? That's what they were doing with Jesus. They laugh at him. That's what they're doing. You're telling them, don't worry, my situation will change. Don't worry, you will see. I know that I don't have the qualification for this job, but I will go there and they will hire me. They will laugh at you. Don't worry, by the end of this year, I will get married. You that don't even have a boyfriend, now how would you get married? Please, let us hear though. Yes, you've been there before. You've told somebody something. I will get this. I will do this. They will laugh. Because right now, there is no evidence of that thing. In fact, it doesn't even seem close, like it's going to happen. So they will make fun of you. God will use me mightily. God told me I'll be a powerful woman of God. And right now, you're not even having 10 people watching your video. They're like, yeah, right. You can't even have anybody watch you. They will laugh at you. Yeah. And at the time they are laughing, it seems like they are right, because what you are saying is not even close to like it's happening. So it seems they are telling the truth. But guess what? It's only a matter of time. And you will be the one laughing. And not only would you laugh, those people, there's something they will do. Listen, let's keep reading. It says, give place, for the maid is not dead, but sleepeth. And they laughed him to scorn. But when the people were put forth, he went in and took her by the hand, and the maid arose. It says, after the crowd was put outside, however, Jesus went in and took the girl by the hand, and she stood up, the dead one. Did you hear that the crowd was put outside? Meaning the crowd was removed because they became a distraction. Meaning that one that was telling you it's impossible, laughing at you, you have to ignore that one and walk away from that one so you can focus. Because as long as they keep being around you, causing that distraction, most likely you may not achieve that thing. Understand? They were put outside. The distraction, the mockers were ignored, were separated. People mocked you. You left everybody, went into your closet, and you understand? Let them keep mocking me, no problem. But I'm going to be focused. I'm going to go do what I have to do. I'm not going to sit with them all day arguing back and forth. I'm just going to go make sure I get some results. Do you understand what I mean? You don't need a distraction. They've already said what they want to say. They've already laughed. They've already written the status updates. They've already made the video about you. They've already done their own part. Now it's time for you to do your part. So you have to walk away from them, step away from them. You have to move away from the distraction so you can focus. Do you understand what I mean? The crowd was put outside. Jesus did not want to do it with all their mocking and laughing. He needed to focus. Do you understand? He could have said, well, what? Just stay there now, you will see. And he would do. No. There were too many people that had no faith. He needed them out, so he can be able to talk to his father and do it the way his father wants it. You understand? Yeah. Sometimes, if that person that is always laughing at you is calling you every day just to laugh at you, maybe you need to stop answering their call for some time so you can focus. I'm just saying. You need to stop answering their call for some time when you focus. If they're always putting up, status updates, and the status affects you, maybe you need to unfollow them so you don't see their status anymore, so you can be focused. Because their status is a distraction. Do you understand? Unfollow them. Or probably unfriend them, so you don't see it. Jesus did not want to see these people, these mockers, these laughers, while he wanted to pray for this girl. He wanted them out so he can focus. Yeah. If somebody is making fun of you that you speak in tongues too much in the house, go into the closet and speak. Don't be speaking right in front of them, because they will keep laughing at you. Just find somewhere private that only you can be, where you speak in tongues. But don't just come and sit in front of them, wake up, but they always laugh at you. So while you're speaking, they're laughing. How are you going to connect? Go to your closet, close the door, speak in tongues. You understand? Keep doing your thing. After the crowd was put outside, however, Jesus went in and took the girl by the hand, and she stood up. King James Version says, when the people were put forth, he went in and he took her by the hand, and the maid arose. The dead girl, the dead situation became alive when you started to focus, when you ignored the distractions, when you walked away from those that say you couldn't achieve anything, and you went to go focus, to go pay attention, to go be alone with your Father. You started to achieve things. And listen to verse 26. When the lady, the girl that they were laughing at him saying, yeah, right, how she gonna get up? Someone that's dead. We're already playing funeral music. We're already like, this is dead. We're about to bury this one. You guys are so funny. All you Christians always coming here trying to say things that don't make sense. The girl rose up, and guess what happened? Verse 26, and the fame thereof went abroad in all that land. NLT said the report of this miracle swept through the entire countryside. NIV said news of this spread through all that region. Who do you think spread the news? The people that were mocking. The people that were there laughing. The people that were mocking, laughing, they were the ones there, so they were the ones that spread the news. The same one that said it's impossible, the same one that mocked you, and the same one that will go and celebrate you and tell everyone what happened. yeah, 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 yeah. It says it spread all over. Because they were the ones there now. Is it not the people that saw it? The people that were there that would be able to go and spread the news. So they are mocking you now. They are laughing at you now. They will still be the ones to celebrate you. They will spread that, your testimony. That thing they said was impossible. That thing they laughed at you saying you are crazy, you can't achieve. They will be the ones. In fact, when they even see you on TV, they will be the ones to say, they know you say, this one, I know her. We were in school together. They will go and dig out pictures. They will be looking for pictures of you and them. Pictures of you and them when you were younger. They will, the way they will celebrate you. Oh, I know her. Oh my God, we went to school together. We did this, but they laughed at you. They made you miserable before. They didn't mention that part. What if you had given up? What if when Jesus came in and said she was not dead, she's just sleeping? And they say, yeah, right. And they started mocking at him, laughing at him, doing all that stuff. And he fell for it. He said, you know what? You're right. She's dead. Sorry, sir. Next time. Some of you are like that. When there's small laughing or mocking, there's small something like that, before you know it, you give up. When there's small shaking, when there's small discouragement, you give up. Like if somebody makes up a status about you, laughing at you, mocking you, you give up. You give up so quickly. You don't know that giving up will not allow any room for these people to go and celebrate you. If you give up, how would you be celebrated? I'm just saying. How would they spread that fame abroad? How would they tell don't give up. Jesus did not give up. He came on a mission. He was on a mission to bring that girl back to life. And he did exactly what he came for. Because he knows why he was in that house. He stuck with his why. My why to come to this house is to bring this girl back to life. So no matter what happens in that house, I must make sure that this girl is brought back to life. So what is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Because of this. So if you have not accomplished this, you can't stop. Yeah. I came here on a mission. I'm doing this because of this. So why are you stopping? You haven't gotten this. Because they were mocking at me. They were laughing. They said, me, I can't do it. I can't do it. Huh? Who are they? They are nobody. As far as you're concerned, you don't even see them. They don't exist. They are people in fact, they are just people that are waiting for me to send them on an errand. How do I send them on an errand? When I succeed, I tell them, see, you told me I couldn't do it. Now go spread the news that I've succeeded. Yeah, they become my servants. I become their boss. Because the thing they told me I couldn't do, I did it. Now go on and go tell everybody this. You don't know. Once you succeed, you become the boss. So if you fail, they become the boss. And you just need to find somewhere to hide. Because they're going to haunt you for a long time and mock you. That laughter will be longer than just that small laughter. Do you see what I'm saying? I remember when I first started preaching. Oh my God. You guys don't know now because you guys some of you just came on last year. Ask the ones that started with me from the beginning. Nothing was not said. Everything was said about me. But I ignored all of these people. It's like they didn't exist to me. The same voice that was speaking to me that made me come online now is the same voice that has been speaking to me for almost 2 years now. That's the only one I listen to. Even superior people that know more than me, sometimes I don't even listen to them. Especially if the voice that is talking to me gave me strict instructions. I follow his. And sometimes they call me stubborn. But me, the stubborn one, seem like God is really with me, because so many times people have laughed at me and I ended up laughing at them. I have people that even have done prayer meeting for me to fail. You don't understand. That people have combined together, pastors, people that preach. They've combined to do prayer meeting for me to fail. But I didn't fail. And now their meeting has cancelled. You don't understand. And now I'm the boss. Pretty much. Some of them are even begging me to be part of my ministry. Some of them want to submit under me and say, oh, be my spiritual mother. Yeah, because now I'm the boss. Because I'm the one laughing last. Because I'm still going up and up. That's how Jesus stayed on top. Every time they said he couldn't do something, he succeeded. And he became the boss. Without paying them, they were giving him free publicity. They were going out there spreading the news about him. And he didn't even have to pay them. For free. Like for free. For free. They will share the videos for free. Do you know that this one happened? Look at what happened. Free. You have become the boss. Somebody say you run things. That's right. But for you to run things, you have to be able to get past the laughing part. The laughing part sometimes, like Jesus would have been disappointed a lot of times when people mocked at him or even called him the master of demons or whatever they called him. He would have been disappointed. But he was so good at shutting his ears to them. Sometimes if they were too loud, he tells them to go out, like what he did here. He kicked them out. He said, get out. Go out there. Like, you're talking too much. Go out so I can focus. Or he separates himself from them. Remember one time when he had to pull that guy away and took him to another place and put his spit in his hand and put it in his tongue and did what he had to do? Even that time too, I'm sure they didn't think anybody could heal that man. But Jesus did it. He's always been winning. So they are laughing at you now. But you have a major role to play before you can be celebrated. You don't give up. You don't get too sensitive. You don't get too emotional. See, ministry is not about your emotions. I keep telling you this things. Being a believer is not about your emotions. It's beyond your emotions. Because if you go by emotions, you will go to hell. Emotions can get you killed. Yeah. Emotions is where somebody you love can lead you to hell because that person don't believe in Jesus. This is beyond emotions. This is where you get to say, I love you, but I love God first. I love him more. And you can't stop me from serving him. Do you understand what I mean? A lot of you have been in trouble because of emotions. A lot of you quit so easily because, oh, they were laughing at me and it hurt my feelings and I don't know, I get your feelings. This is beyond your feelings. This is beyond your feelings. Your feelings don't count in this place. Your feelings don't count. What did God say you should do? Do it. If God even tells you to submit under someone, sometimes that one might do some things that you would think they don't regard you or they are rude to you. It could also be part of the submission test that God is doing. Did you not see what Jesus told that woman? That why will I give give you what is meant for the dogs or whatever, or whatever. And she said, yeah, that she can eat from the crumbs or something. I forgot how he said it. It was so harsh the way he talked to her. He pretty much called her dogs. A dog. But she was still okay with it. And look at what happened. Do you understand? That's why sometimes you see some leaders, some ministers, somebody's working under them. And you're like, why is she treating you like this? It could be part of the training. Maybe God is trying to see if this one is really broken. Because before this one, nobody can talk to this one like this. So now maybe God is telling them to talk to them like that to see if they will react. If they don't react, then truly this one is broken. Truly this one is ready for him to use her. But some people will see it like that and say, if it's me, I will not do this. If it's me, that's why it's not you. Because your feelings is always getting in the way. If it's me, I won't take that. Can't you see that's why it's not you? If it's me, I won't take this. If it's me, you can't do me like this. If it's me, that's why he's not using you. Because you're not ready to be humble. You're not ready to be broken. That's why it's not you. So you'll be doing, if it's me, you will reach 70 years old. And you will still be doing, it is me. That one that you were complaining about, God has taken that one to another level. So it's not about our emotions or how we feel. It's about doing the will of God and being humble. Humble. Sometimes God will make you do some things that people will be like, if it's me, I can't do that. Oh, why would you do that? Why would you do that? You could be a man of God that have been preaching for 20 years. And God wants to check your humility or whatever. And then maybe me, the woman of God, just started 2 years now. And God will say, go and kneel down for her to pray for you. Go, let her kneel down, let her pray for you. And you know you heard it clearly. The woman of God didn't say anything. No. You heard it. God is testing you. Like, you heard it. Nobody prophesied it to you. You heard something tell you. Or you would think you're thinking it. Maybe I should go for her to pray for me. Why do you think that thought came to you? Yeah, God just told you to do that. But this other voice will come say, what? Insult. You that have been doing it for 20 years. What kind of prayer would this one pray for you? Why? This one that is just starting, this one that doesn't even know what she's talking about, pray for you. Hey, insult. What would your members say? What would they say? They will say, look at you. This small girl is the one praying. That's the thing with ministry. It doesn't work like that. It's so different. But you know that a thought came for you to go let her pray for you. And then you don't do it. And maybe all this while you've been asking for an anointing to do deliverance or something. Like to do deliverance. And maybe God has given this one that anointing. And is also using it to check you to see if you're still humble. And you don't go. You won't get that anointing. But if you go and you say, God bless you, woman of God. I am led to come meet you to pray for me. I believe that God had led me to you would also tell you why he sent me. He said I should kneel down for you to pray for me. That woman of God will say, oh, sorry, sir, pastor, Pastor, before you know, God will tell her, I sent him. Pray for deliverance or pray that. And she just lays her hand. At that point, she's not even that young girl. She is Jesus praying for you in the form of a young girl. Yeah. The kind of anointing that will enter you, God will. You've already even pleased God that you are still humble. God is seeing that you are obedient. See, sometimes God tells us to do things to check us, so just to check us. There are sometimes God will not show you something, but He will send it through one of your followers that just repented. Maybe she will have a dream. A lot of you always send me your dreams. There are some dreams that I read, and God will tell me, yes, I sent her to you. And I'll tell them, God bless you. But some people say, so you too, you are dreaming. There are some dreams that is clearly from the devil. But that's why we have discernment. So we know. When one comes, we hear from God. Sometimes we don't hear and it's still God. And later He will speak about it. But we must never be proud. Never. God opposes the proud. Pride is something that makes His face like this. It's like it stings in His nose. God doesn't like that. This is the way He frowns to pride. Even your son, God can speak through your son that is just 4 years old. That's your son that you're looking down on. God can speak through that one and give you one important message that He will not reveal to you on His own, like from your dream. And see, you could be a major prophet, major one. But to check your pride, to check you to make sure you are not proud. It is one small prophet somewhere that God may send a message to you. And God will check how you handle that message. Because God is checking on us all the time. Even us believers. God is always checking to see that we don't have pride in us. Because the devil is very proud. There are some deliverance that I've watched or that I've even done. They will even say, my master, the devil, is proud. They will say, you ask them, who is your master? They will say, my master is Lucifer, and Lucifer is proud. The way they even say, the way they even do. So if you as a believer, you see yourself so proud doing like that, you have an element of Lucifer in you. Have you not watched deliverances? When they talk of pride, it's strictly from the enemy, the devil. In fact, his nickname is Pride. He is proud. Even the way he walks, even the way he does things is pride. All over, written all over him. So we as believers, if we find ourselves too proud, something is wrong. God resists that. He doesn't like that. He opposes that. His spirit grieves to that. He doesn't like that. When you see yourself that you're becoming proud or you're beginning to sound proud, catch yourself. Catch yourself. Our Father is so merciful. Today when I was talking to Him on my bed, I was like, wow, Father, you're so merciful. Like you're so full of mercy. If you see that you are making a proud comment or you're beginning to act proud, just catch yourself quickly. No one is perfect. Even me. I've seen sometimes I get to a point that I'm beginning to sound proud. I catch myself. Because I've always been a proud person since I was born till I was 35 when I repented. And so now once in a while I see myself sounding like that. And then I catch myself. I say, I'm sorry, Lord. So nobody is like, oh, you are totally humble. My dear, it's a process. But when you, as I'm talking now, check yourself to see if you have this pride in you. And say, Lord, I'm sorry. Help me to become humble. And He's merciful. The fact that you've noticed that that thing is in you and you are willing to change, you don't understand. He's just smiling. That's my daughter. Okay. I will help you change. Yeah. Humble people, they benefit a lot. Humble people, there's something about, it says, hold on, I'm going to find it. Matthew 5, I was reading it the other day. It says, Matthew 5 verse 5. Somebody posted. King James says, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Let me read it in NLT translation. NLT says, God blesses those who are humble, for they will inherit the whole earth. I was just reading it a few days ago. Blessed are the meek. Sometimes they call you stupid. When you're humble, they think it's stupidity. It's not. It says, God blesses those who are humble, for they will inherit the whole earth. Meaning they will benefit from being humble. Even if you want to receive anointing or something from a powerful man of God, it will be easier to receive if you come to Him in a humble way. You understand? But if you come proudly and all that, it will irritate Him. He won't even want to pray for you. Just think about it. People that are humble, they gradually go higher and higher and higher. See, my cousin came to Houston last year, September. I invited him for my birthday. This man is one of the most humble people I've ever seen in my life. He's been preaching for 17, 18 years, even before I thought of being born again. But when he came, because God told him to follow me and watch my videos, he came and did as if I have been in ministry longer than him. He didn't come to challenge what I do. He just came to learn from me, even though I am the newest one. He's the one that has all this experience, but there's an anointing, there's a grace that God gave me that God wanted him to tap from. And he came and humbly got it. My cousin was struggling financially. He's always telling his story, Pastor Isaac Samuel II. Like, he doesn't hide it. And he was also not known by so many people. But God wanted to give him that grace. So God said, watch this woman. Normally he would have been like, what will Belema teach me now? Belema that me, I know that I just repented. I've been preaching for almost 18 years. What is she going to teach me? He came on my videos. He was watching daily. Till today, he still watches. Just 2 days ago or 3 days ago, he was telling me, because I noticed after I got offline, he was watching one of my videos, commenting. He said, "You woman of God, that's just the way you preach. You break the word down. I just love listening to you." I say, "How, man of God, now, wow." You know, like, he came. Before you know, he received the grace. His finances have gone to another level. Now, a lot of people know him. He now has check-it shirts. People are ordering online, sewing into the ministry to get all these stuff that he has. People are partnering with his ministry. All this happened in a few months because he was humble enough. He will say it anytime. Ask him, he will tell you. He's not hiding it. In less than how many months, my cousin's life changed because he He's a humble man. But if he had come acting so proud, wanting to teach me things, or wanting to show that he's been in this longer, he knows what's up. I'm not the one that told you to watch my video. God told you, so why are you coming to come teach me what to do? There's a reason God sent you here. Watch and learn. His life changed. I'm telling you, in a matter of months, his account just increased. People are even sowing seed now. People are giving tithes to his ministry. So many, because he's very anointed. But there was a grace that God wanted to give him. But he wanted him to go and lower himself to watch somebody that just repented, despite all what he knew. Sometimes you may know everything you think you know, but you're still struggling in an area. There's a place you're struggling. And the person that God wants you to go get that blessing or that favor or that grace from is from someone that you feel like you know more than that person. But that person has something that you don't have. You have to submit. You have to be humble to get it. Not false humility. God can sense false humility. The kind that you change after you get what you want. Not that kind. He said, God blesses those who are humble, for they will inherit the whole earth. I can't even pronounce earth again. They will inherit the whole earth. Meaning they will benefit from being humble. They will be blessed a lot. More than they can ever imagine. I use my cousin as an example because my cousin is always telling his story. If I even invite him right now on this video, he will tell you even more than I just told you. And I learned a lot from him. See, when God connects you with somebody, it's not just for that person to benefit. Even you benefit. Even you learn something. Because maybe I myself, maybe God needed to teach me humility. Because I came from a place where I was very arrogant. I was very popular. I was very respected. Everybody wanted to be like Princess Belemzi. Because I was always doing parties, hanging with celebrities. So I felt like I was on top of the world and all that stuff and all that. But that thing doesn't work here in ministry. Nobody cares who you are. In fact, we that are like the anointed ones, we are actually servants. If I wasn't a servant, you think I would be in Maryland sitting for 18 hours praying for people? That's serving. I'm serving. No matter how beautiful my dress looks, or no matter how good my hair looks, I'm actually a servant. If you like, call me woman of God, call me any name. I'm actually a servant. For me to be a leader, I have to first be a servant. Leadership is service. You don't know. Leadership is service. It's not something to say, oh, I am the leader. I am the woman of God. We are servants. What I'm doing now is I'm serving because I could be sleeping right now. But I'm here preaching to you. I'm serving. I'm trying to teach you, trying to make your life, better, trying to help you know these things. I am serving. There's nothing for me to be proud of. What am I proud for? For what? Did I get all this on my own? Am I the one that touched your heart to watch me? When I was in the bed, before I started talking to God, I was trying to respond to so many messages. Because this whole week, or last week and this week, I've been praying for so many people. I have so many messages from people from even 5 months ago, 2 months ago. So I responded to almost 50 or 100 people while I was laying in bed. I put my phone down. I started talking to God. I said, Father, there was a time in my closet when I was praying for you to send me more people to watch these videos, it just seemed like it was yesterday. I said there was a time in the closet that I was even thinking of how I can get more people to watch, how I can get more people to send prayer requests. I said, but now look, I can't even respond to everybody anymore. I said, Father, the way you answered is so quick. I was just laughing. I was talking to myself. But of course, I know I wasn't talking to myself because I know God was listening. God is always listening to me. He's listening to you all the time too. I said, wow. Everything I have, He gave to me. No man can get anything unless God gives it to them. Do you understand what I mean? He gave me you guys. So now that He gave it to me, what am I to boast about? I said, just a few months or something, I said, Lord, send me some more people to watch these videos. I need more followers. I need more people to send prayer requests. And now I have at least 5,000 or maybe more prayer requests that I've not opened. And I was just laughing. I said, wow, everything I have you gave to me. So really, they're not mine. They're God's. God can take it all back. That's why when you think you have money now, you want to be proud. Oh, be careful. Be careful. He could take it all back. Yeah, it may not happen all at once. It may happen gradually. And before you know it, all the money you were boasting about, you don't have it no more. Before you know it, you can't even pay your rent anymore. And you'll be wondering, how did I go from here to here? It will be like a movie to you. The same way He blessed you, the same way He can take it from you. So stop being proud. It's not because you work so hard. That's why. No, it is God's favor. There are people that have worked even harder than you, and they still don't have enough to pay bills. It's not because, oh, I work so hard, that's why I deserve this. No, it's grace. It's grace. It's favor. That's why you shouldn't be proud. Recognize that it's grace. Recognize that you did not deserve it and He gave it to you. That's why every day you thank Him. Thank you, Father. Thank you for finding me worthy enough to have these kind of things. Thank you for trusting me with all this kind of stuff. Thank you for trusting that I'll be good enough for this position. Thank you for picking me to be a servant of God. Of all the people out there, you chose me to work for you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I was telling Him, I said, Father, I will never disappoint you. I said, sometimes it's overwhelming. But I remember in that closet, when I was making promises to you, I told you, I said, Lord, send me anywhere, I will go. Tell me anything, I will do. I said, whatever you want me to do, I will do. And I will keep to my promise because you've been keeping to your promise. I was just talking to God today because I don't want to forget what I promised Him. Because He never forgets His own promise. He does His part. But after a while, we forget to do what we said we would do. We are so quick to forget it. Just like some of you make a vow, Lord, if you do this for me, I will do this. And then He will do His part, but you don't do your part. You forget so easily. And He's just there watching you, watching and thinking that one day maybe you remember the promise that you made. In the beginning, we always make a lot of promises. And suddenly when He keeps to His own part, it's like we have amnesia. We don't remember our promise no more. If you give me a husband, I promise If you give me a husband, I remove this shame from my face, Lord. Everybody's thinking me, I can't get married. If you give me a husband, I promise I will serve you forever. I will never backslide again. I will never fornicate. Why will I fornicate when I'm married? I will never do anything. You promise and promise and promise because you're in tears asking. And he gives you the husband, hoping that you will keep to your promise. Initially, you try to keep to it. And boom, the husband and you are so in love. And before you know, you're not going to church no more. You're not even praying too much. Always doing honeymoon. Every day is honeymoon for two of you. Before you know, you're like, well, and I didn't want to come to church today. My husband and I were even, you know. Before you know, the promise you made, God is watching. She said if I give her this, she will do this. But that's not what she's doing. Maybe she will change. Or maybe I should go remind her. And sometimes you have a dream and God will remind you of what you promised. You wake up remembering the promise. You're like, I bet God is merciful. You understand. You think it's easy. I don't even know what I was saying when I said that thing. I said that thing because I was desperate. I didn't mean it. I said that thing because I was desperate. Okay. No problem. So guess what happened? Now you can't have a child. Oh, Father. You start to go to church now because you need a child and your husband is beginning to complain that I did not know I married a barren woman. I didn't know that you were not fruitful. I need a child. You start to watch videos again. You see this video. You say, woman of God. I used to be on fire for God. I don't know what happened. I got married and everything changed. I want to get back on fire. I want to get back on fire. It's a lie. It's because you want a child. And you start making promise when you've not even... See, the other promise you made, you know you didn't fulfill it. Oh. Now you're adding another promise again. Father, if you can give me a child and save my marriage, because the way I'm seeing my husband, he might go and marry somebody else. If you can give me a child, Father, I know the other time I promised you and I didn't keep to it, but this time, I promise, this time. This time I promise. This time, I promise you. This time, you will see. In fact, my son, I will just dedicate my son to you. This time, please, I need my marriage saved. Father, I don't want to be ashamed. People will laugh at me if this thing doesn't work. All my sisters are still married. They all have children. My friends, I'm the only one. Father, please help me. And sometimes it's good not to make any promise. Just ask. And you'll receive. Sometimes it's better not to make promises. I'm just saying, because most times humans can't keep to their promise. Oh, Father, I will sow a seed. In fact, I will build a church in my village. My dear, God gave you the child. First of all, the child come out so cute. Hey! And you already promised to give the child, though. Maybe like Samuel's mother did, right? In the Bible. Anna. She kept to the promise. She gave the child up. After how old was he or so? You look the child, you say, this fine child. I know if you give this speaking to anybody. Hey, this boy too fine to be a pastor. No. This one must not be a pastor. You will be a doctor. The boy said, he say, Mommy, no, I don't want to do doctor. I want to be pastor. You pastor? No. You are too fine. The boy himself is saying, Mommy, but whenever I dream, I see myself doing pastor and being a priest or something. Priest. You don't know they don't get married. Priests don't get married. So you want to end my generation like this? Sorry, you know me, I have to get to a point where we have to laugh. So you want to wipe off the name of this family just like that? But that was the promise you made. The boy did not take no. But you, something is telling you, but didn't you make that promise? The boy doesn't know this. God is reminding you. He said, no, you are too fine for this name. The other ones I have are 3 girls. Maybe after that one, God bless you with 3 girls. You the only boy in the family that will answer your father's name, and you want to be priest, father? You want to be father? Father? No begin. Ha! Hey! So you want to be father? Oh my God. Never over my dead body. This is somebody that made promise. So you don't want me to have grandchildren that will be fine like you. You want to be father. I think is it Catholic priest or something? You know, they don't get married or something, right? I don't know. I'm just giving you an example so you know. I'm trying to break it down. Even when God reminds you of the promise, you say, Father, I know I made this promise, but this one is too fine, Father, you have to understand, though. He's the only boy. I don't want his father's name to go to waste. The family name will die, because these girls, when they marry, they will change their name to their husband's name. This is the only boy that can continue the name of this family. Human being, we are one kind of special people. Now, if it's the devil is brutal, is wicked. There was one story in my village. I think I've told you guys before, right? There was one girl when I went to school in the village for my secondary school. I went to class GS1, GS2, and 3. For those in Nigeria, they know what I'm talking about. We call it class 1, 2, and 3. College there. That we call that college here, but that's not college here. That's like high school here, right? I think so, yeah. Class 1, 2, 3 is high school here. So I went to my village because I told my parents that, you know, my parents have been here since I was little, and the way they were trying to bring me up, when I was living with my mother's father, they made me not to speak my language. I was always speaking English. I was in Lagos, Nigeria, but I was living like I was in America. I was speaking like someone in America. So when I went to Port Harcourt, some children, anytime I want to speak English, they will surround me. They're like, because I sounded like somebody that lived in America, because my mother's father was comfortable. You know, I think it was a diplomat. So we were very comfortable. So when I came back to Port Harcourt to stay with my mother's sister at 7 or 8 years old, I can't remember. That one too, in their house, they were doing like classy things. And me, since I was little, I never really liked classy stuff. I wanted to be like a ghetto girl. You know what I mean? I wanted to be like, they didn't allow me to speak pidgin English in that house. They were always speaking English. They were always using breakable plates to eat. Like me, I wanted to use plastic bowl to eat, but they were always eating on the dining table. Me, I wanted to eat on the floor. Like I was just, I wanted to just be, I call it Raz. I wanted to be, so I couldn't. So I went to school, primary school, stayed with them. And then when it was time for me to go to secondary school, we call it secondary school, sorry. I didn't want to stay with them. I wanted to go to the village. And my parents live in America. And normally, if your parents live in America, you should be going to some expensive secondary school, which my parents are ready to pay for. But I wanted one in my village. I'm telling you. So I didn't even tell my parents. When we're doing the common entrance, I picked a school in the village. And when I went to see my result, they posted me to the village. I was so happy. Other people were looking for school in the city. Me, I was looking for school in the village. Have you seen this kind of girl before? I was so happy. My father and mother heard it. They were not happy. They called my aunt. They're like, why is Belema going to school in the village? My auntie said that's where she picked up. I was so happy. My mother and father said, no, you can't go. I said, I don't even know how to speak my language. All I speak is English. I live in Nigeria, but I'm sounding like somebody that lives in America. Then I had good accent. Forget this one that I'm speaking. This one is all messed up. I'm talking about when I was young, when I was maybe 12, 13. My English was shoo, you know? It was going flowing. I was speaking big English. Now I can't even remember any big one. And I was so smart. Hey. And then anytime I talk, I'll say, it's true, right? It's true, right? Right? But I've never gone to America, then no. But when I open my mouth, then people, all the children will be surrounding me, wanting to hear me speak. I'm like, what is this? So me, I was tired of it. I couldn't speak my language no more. I was only understanding it, but I can't speak it. And I wanted to learn, so I said the only way to learn is for me to go to school in my village. Because the way I'm seeing these people, I'll never learn it here. So when they posted me to the village, I was so happy. So happy. They couldn't stop me. So when I finally went to the village, the school was not even as cute as the one that I'm used to in the city, but I was fine with it. The village did not look beautiful. I was okay with it. I was just happy. It's just like when you see white people leave America and come to Africa and they want to sell stuff. They put stuff on their head and they're very thrilled about it. You know, like, see some of these rich people, you can see them come to Africa and they become humble. They want to feed people. They want to, because all they know is this rich life and they kind of want to see how it feels to be like this other people. That's how I felt. So when I came to the village, I didn't fit in. I looked different. You would just tell that this girl doesn't live here. You would know that this girl doesn't belong here. Because I used to wear short skirt, dress well. And the way I speak, I was so smart. I was so smart. The way I speak English, I don't even know what happened to my English show. It just messed up. Now I can't even speak good English again. But before, I was so smart. I had the best result in that school for junior WAEC. They gave me a scholarship. I represented Degema local. I represented my whole local government. I'm under Degema local government. If there's anybody from Port Harcourt watching, they'll know. Out of so many schools in that local government, I alone was picked. Maybe out of 500 schools. Yeah, in Degema local government. They picked me. And they gave me scholarship for 3 years. That's how smart your woman of God was. So when I went to that school, to class 1, there was this girl that always came to the school. But her hand was like a snake. When she walked, one of her hands is like this. Like this. And her body, when she's walking, is curving like a snake. You understand? Like, but my classmates, they knew her because they went to primary school with her in the village. But me, I just came from the city, so I don't really know her story. So whenever she came to when we're learning in the class, she would be outside, sitting, not dressed well. But her hand, I think it was her right hand, always like this. So me, I was asking questions. And I was like, what happened? They say, and they were treating her well. They would call her Fine. Her name was Fine, F-Y-N-E. F-Y-N-E. But the name doesn't look like the one that I'm seeing because the girl wasn't fine. The girl looked like someone that is deformed and everything. They say, man, if you had seen this girl before, right? You will not believe it that this girl was so beautiful, that this girl was so smart, that suddenly they started telling me what happened, the story behind it. You know how I was saying that people will make promises to God, and then when God gives them something, they forget. And God is merciful, right? But the devil is not merciful. They said this woman that had this girl, she didn't have kids. And she was desperate to have kids. So she went to go meet the devil for a child. A snake. She went to go meet those people that worship the snake, the python, or whatever snake it is. And went to go ask for a child. You know how some people go to the voodoo doctor to ask for a child? So they told her that, well, we're going to give you a child. But this child will serve us. And when this child is 13 or 12 or so, she will come and stay with us full time in the shrine. This child will belong to us. She says she just wants a child. She doesn't care. No problem. The girl can serve them. You know, all the things you guys get away with God, you can't get away with the devil. When you make plan with the devil, your own is finished. You understand? God will forgive you, and then yes, and then, but the devil doesn't forget. He doesn't forgive. So they now gave her this girl. She didn't know what, they just told her they will give her a child. She got pregnant. This is not a movie. This thing happened. I'm telling you, I saw this girl every time hanging outside our classroom. So a lot of my classmates know this girl. And some of my classmates watch my videos. So I don't know if they're watching now from that school. The woman got pregnant. And the woman had this girl. This girl was so beautiful that the woman had to call her Fine, F-Y-N-E. Like, she was so beautiful, light-skinned, beautiful, that the woman had to call her Fine. Light-skinned, beautiful baby. Like, she couldn't believe this. F-Y-N-E. That's what all my classmates that knew her were calling her. That's what the whole village called the girl. Fine. This woman said, this girl is too pretty, or she doesn't see how she will give this girl back. This one is too fine. And after she had that one, immediately after she had that one, she started having other kids. So maybe she should have just waited a little bit. You understand? Because maybe, see, sometimes people can't wait. They go and make agreement with the devil. Maybe in the next 2-3 months, they would have probably gotten pregnant for real. But she messed up. But right after she had that one, she started having other kids. But this particular girl, the woman, everybody in the village loved this one. This girl was so smart in class, beautiful. My classmates were describing how beautiful she was. I couldn't picture it because what I was seeing was not the picture they were telling me. I saw somebody that was formed like a snake and face looked one kind. But they like, no, this girl, they said this girl was the prettiest girl in the class or whatever. I couldn't see that picture. So when the girl started going to school, the whole town was like, wow, your daughter is beautiful. Oh, the woman was happy. She forgot her agreement, right? So they now told that when the girl reached 12 years or so, I think, when it's time for her to enter secondary school, they now reminded how, they said, okay, well, remember your promise now. It's time for this girl to come and start serving us in the shrine. Because she belongs to us anyway. She said, no, she don't belong to you. No. How can I give this fine girl to you? This one that I even call fine? No way. No way. This one is too fine for me to let go. Never. The woman forgot her promise that she made to the devil. You see why you children of God, you shouldn't take our Father for granted because he's so merciful. Try to keep your promise. But the devil, when you make promise with the devil, okay. Guess what? The woman refused. They gave her time. Are you bringing this girl to the shrine or not? Are you bringing the girl to the shrine or not. She said, never, never, never. They say one night when she was sleeping, she woke up. The daughter, the fine girl, turned to the big snake and told her, he said, you are stupid. You think I'm human? You came to get me. Now you don't want to take me back. What if I swallow you now? What if I swallow you up now? You think you are smart? The woman shouted and ran out of her house that night, shouting. Everybody finally found out the truth. She was shouting, oh, hey, hey, somebody help me. Oh, that's when the whole town now knew the story of what happened. And the moment the girl changed back from the snake, she never turned back to the girl she was. She turned back to what I saw when I saw her. I saw her face to face live. When I came to the village, when I saw her, when she changed back to her from the snake, she was never the girl that the whole village knew. She turned to a different person with her right hand like this, her body twisted like snake. When she walks like a snake. That's when the whole village now knew that this woman had gone to. You know, when you do something in the secret, one day to come out in the open, this is what happened to this woman. They said, no wonder. But guess what the devil did? The fine girl that they call fine became ugly, deformed, and now they told the woman that if she herself doesn't serve them for being stubborn, they will kill all her children. The devil is wicked. Don't go to him for anything. I am telling you, you cannot be making promises to him and expect that you can slide the way you slide with God. Till today, I heard the woman still served them. I don't know if she's repented now. She served them full time. Full time. And that girl, she was always coming to the classroom outside. And then sometimes she comes to people's houses. She's been to our house in the village several times. And what is so strange is when she comes to your house, she will lay down on the floor. Maybe she doesn't have anywhere to sleep because she's not staying in the woman's house. She's just roaming the town. This girl may be sleeping outside your house, eh? You wake up at night, you see her inside your house on the floor sleeping. You don't know how she entered. So whenever we saw her in front of our own house, we say, leave, leave, leave. Don't sleep here. Because she disappears or something. I don't know, but until she started having epilepsy. It's a convulsion. She started convulsing. One day she convulsed and fell into fire. She got burned. And then the next time she convulsed, because we're from Rivers, I'm from Bacana. So there's so much river where I'm from. It's riverine area. She convulsed one day. I heard she fell into the river and she died or something. So she's dead now. But her mother is now a slave to that thing. Because her mother went to make promise with the devil. Why did I tell you guys this story? The devil doesn't forget when you make a promise. Only God can free you from that thing. And not just for you to run to God and be free. You must hold on tight to God forever. Because the devil is very wicked. But with God, we make promises. We don't keep it. He forgives us. We keep doing it. We take him for granted. Like we just take God for granted. We make it seem like he's weak. The people that worship devil, they don't play with him like that too. When they say they will do something, they do it. But we, children of God, we say we'll do something. Where God is merciful, God will forgive. Father, please forgive me. I couldn't do it. If people can fear the devil like that, why can't we have fear for God or respect for God? Why do we just say things that we don't mean to him? It's not fair. We should be able to keep to our promises. We should be able to keep to what we say we'll do. Because what he says he will do it. If I didn't see that girl by myself, I won't believe this story. But I saw her. I saw her. I saw how she walks like a snake, like somebody that is twisted. And her hand never went down. One of her hand always stayed like this. And this is it. And nobody knew the woman went there until the day the thing happened. She confessed, running around the town. That's when they know that she went there. You that is watching me, there's a promise you probably made to God that you need to go keep to that promise. You need to do something about it. Or tell God, I'm sorry, I didn't keep to it. I'm sorry. Or maybe you can't do it no more. Say, I'm sorry, Lord. From now on, I will not make promises I can't keep. That's right. God is merciful. God is kind. God is loving. God is faithful. God is good. Let's not take it for granted. For real. We have a good Father. He's not wicked like the devil. He doesn't even want us to go to the devil and be asking for anything. Because nothing you get from the devil is free. Oh. It comes back and it hunts you. If the devil gives you one thing, he takes 10 things from you. He takes your life. And what he's giving you is not even real. You shall love him. He make it all. Yes, you make it all. Yes, shall love the Lord. Oh, I love you, Jesus. If you're here listening to these messages and you haven't repented, you haven't given your life to God, I would like to lead you to Christ. And I promise you, it will be the best decision you've ever made in your life. Not only will you have so much peace, you'll begin to understand your purpose here on earth. You also be saved, meaning when you die, you will make heaven and you will have eternal life. You will not die and go die in hell again and stay there forever and ever. No. I've cast out so many demons and none of them like going to hell. As wicked as they are, they don't like hell. So that tells me a lot. I'm like, if the demons don't like hell, I don't want anybody to go there. Like, human beings should not go there. Because if demons cannot stand hell, how can we humans stand the place? It must be horrible. Yes, it is. A place of torment. Weeping and gnashing of teeth. Like a place where people are burning 24/7. It's real. Anyone that has been following me on Facebook will know that hell is real. If for nothing, at least the evil spirits. Don't worry, I'll do one deliverance and I'll ask that while you guys are watching, I'll ask the evil spirit to describe hell, how it is. Although some of you still think we're acting this, some of you think we're paying these people to act, but when they tell you the way it is, you will know that you don't want to go there. And we don't even know when our time will be up. It's not like God will tell you, your time will be up at 2 o'clock. No, we don't know. It could be when you're taking a nap. It could even be as you're watching this video. It could be any time. It could be as you're driving to the store near your house. It's not like you're even on the freeway. You're just going to a store nearby the house. It could be when you are taking a walk in the park. It could be when you are in the shower bathing. I've heard some people fall from the shower and they died in the shower. I've heard some people took a nap on their couch in the house and never woke up. It could be any time. It's scary to know that when you die, you won't make heaven. Because first of all, some of you have lived a miserable life in this place. It's like this world has been like hell to you. Why you want to go continue in a bigger hell over there? Some of you have not really enjoyed your life in this place. You've been suffering since you were born. Why do you want to continue suffering after you die? Some of you claim to be born again, but you know you are not. I'm hearing this clearly in my spirit. Some of you here claim to be saved. But even you're questioning yourself, am I really saved? Because you know some of the things you do. You know that you're not saved. If we all knew when we will die, then we'll all do whatever we want, and when it's close to that time, we repent, right? But we don't know. We have no idea. Even as we are talking, there are some people this morning, it's 7:04 a.m. Some people just died at this very hour, this very minute, this very second. There's some people that they have already ironed the clothes that they will wear this morning, and they slept maybe at 12 midnight. They died at maybe 6 a.m. They didn't wake up. The clothes they ironed is there waiting for them. They've made like 7 appointments in their office. People that will come and see them. The people came and they are not there. And some of them have so much money in their account. Oh, let me tell you, you think rich people don't die? There's some people that have like 20 million sitting in their account. And maybe their wives don't even know the info of their account. Some people buried money somewhere in their house. And nobody even knows that they buried that money. But when they died, all these things are just there. The money ain't going with them. In fact, their family may suffer because some men, they are very secretive. They don't tell their wives about their accounts. Even women are secretive too. So they die and nobody knows they have an account in Swiss bank or this bank or this bank. They are looking for money to bury them. Meanwhile, this person went to store up money in one place like that nobody can go and find it. Now the bank will keep it or something. Vanity. That's right. Somebody just wrote vanity. Good job. You're working so hard. You are trying to make so much money. Oh, there was a scripture that I posted. Oh my God. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for reminding me. I'm sure you guys saw that scripture about the rich man that wanted to build a bigger barn to keep all his, like, yes, I think it's here. Yes. Thank you, Father. I was reading it. This scripture should make you think. Luke 12:16-21. Let me read it. Luke 12:16-21. I posted it on Facebook. Sometimes when I'm reading scriptures, I just post it for you guys. I hope you guys always read these scriptures when I post, because some of you don't read your Bible, so I'm trying to help you, man. I always try to read the Bible. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'm a teacher, so I have to teach and tell you what I do so you too will be encouraged to do it. The Bible is fun. It's not as boring as the devil make it seem. Sometimes you need answers and you just go to the Bible. And it's like God will just give you the right scripture to read. And it just answers what you're asking. It's like you can sleep well knowing it's... I don't even know how to say this thing. Instead of me calling people complaining about my problems, I'll just open the Bible and just read a nice story in the Bible. And by the time I start meditating on that word or just letting that word sink in me, I start feeling better about that situation. It's like, you understand? I don't now have the need to. I'm not even someone that stays on the phone. I don't like talking. I don't have to. Do you see why I'm so focused? Why I'm so able to come online all the time? I don't have a lot of friends. I don't even know if I have friends. My cousin, my bishop, my mother. My followers, I can't really say they are my friends because I don't really chit chat with them, but I love them. You can't be successful when you have too many friends. Listen to what I just said. You can't have too many friends and be very successful. Success is not just money-wise. I'm talking about successfully doing what God called you to do. Even with Jesus, I don't think he had a lot of friends. Yeah, I think most time Jesus was kind of like a loner. Even with his disciples, even though he had disciples, he still seemed like someone that was a loner. Because whenever he's done with them, he separates himself and goes to somewhere to go pray. You know, you could have people surrounding you, but you can't really say they're your friends. I'm sorry. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, you could be around people, but you can't really say, oh, this one is my friend. You guys should always know the difference. Just because I hang with you doesn't mean you're my friend. You get what I'm saying? You could be a fellow member or my fellow believer or my sister in Christ or something, but friends, no one that has too many friends can be very successful. Yeah. Most times it's distracting because you feel the need to, okay, like when God wants to use somebody, like I'm going to use myself as an example. Even Jesus was able to do that 40 days fasting. In fact, the Spirit of God led him into the wilderness to be alone so he could focus and do the fasting and all that. It was after he had finished that fasting, the temptation and all that, that he started his ministry. And even with him and his disciples, just like me and the girls that work for me, ask them, they'll tell you. I don't sit down and chit chat with them, like trying to be friendly with them, because before you know, they will start to insult me. Before you know, familiarity will enter. They work, they do what they gotta do. If we're talking what I need them to do and we're done, they go to their room, I go to mine. Do you understand? There's a way you can even be too friendly with your pastor, his prayer won't work for you again. So I believe that's how Jesus was with the disciples. They always respected him. It was mostly teacher and student kind of relationship. It wasn't, what's up now? How are they do, guys? There's a way you become so... this is nothing to do with pride, though. I'm just telling you too so that you can learn. There's a way you carry yourself. Before you know, the student is no longer the student. The student one day will knock your head. Afana, woman of God, Hannah, or something. Jesus, what's up now? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just saying. You know, before you know, they are knocking him on his head. What's up now? You did now. Your head is getting big. Oh. Before you know, they are pulling your wig. Every day this week, come on this week. Like, insult. No. You know what I mean? You have to carry yourself in a certain way. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. And before you know, the prayer won't work again. Familiarity, too familiar with this prophet or too familiar with this woman of God, it won't work again. You're too familiar. Yeah.